Hello and welcome into the Sorare Spotlight. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdino on Sorare. Talking today about Game Week 3. All the division battles have been battled for the most part. Actually, I guess we're not technically done. Streaks are being extended or they're not. And we've got some big performances from some of the community's favorite players, including a goalkeeper in the Prem. Thank you to everybody for coming in. We've got Stefan, Surface to Air Missile, and Philly Dilly here for the spotlight on EPL's top scoring goalkeeper over the weekend. If you are a Jordan Pickford stan, this is the show for you. Sean Kennedy, what's up? Carrie, thanks for coming in. We got a lot of people from YouTube. Anyone on Twitch out there? I know the English streams tend to get more visibility on YouTube, but hey, we love the Twitch guys as well. Mikey Basson, what's up? Pico player, guten Tag to you. I don't know if you're checking in on the German show later this week. I think it's tomorrow. But you may have noticed that there are now Sorare streams on this Sorare channel in lots of different languages. We've got English, French, German, Spanish, and I believe there's another one being added today. And I say I believe that. I know that. Although I believe our first Italian stream will be tomorrow, Tuesday. So, if you play around with other languages and you want to see what the Sorare content is on those, check it out. I don't have a clue what they're saying, but we'll support them nonetheless. Alex, what's up? Sid, hola to you. SR Monkey, good to see you. Sorare Burrow. Pico Player said, I'm flexing my only German words. I originally read that as word, and I was going to comment that Guten Tag might be 2 words. It is, there's a space in there, but now I'm already out of my element when it comes to German. Anyway, thank you to everybody. SR Monkey, Hogsberg is injured, but I don't think we have any idea how long, which is kind of a bummer because I definitely played him and wanted to, win from those. And I didn't this week. We'll look at that because it was a bit of a bummer, but also like lineup predictions are really tough. And shout out to everybody who does those predictions because they're not easy. And when you get one wrong, everybody's like, oh man, but also it's just a glorified guess. I hate to say it that way. And so I don't know how long, I don't know how long he's out. I don't think there's been like very specific news, but we'll see. Let's see. Okay. So I have some streak data that we've looked at the last couple game weeks. And so I have another game week's worth. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then obviously the scores of everything that we saw this week. And we had division battles for All-Star, U23, Challenger, and Contender this week. No, I'm sorry. All-Star, U23, Contender, and Bundesliga. There we go. And so, we'll see what the scores were to get to Division 1 because that's where we all want to be. I wouldn't participate in the Bundesliga one, but I believe I was in the others, so we'll see. Perry, really enjoying Sorare at the minute. Actually, I don't know if that may be the moment, whatever the ATM is, but me too. It's a ton of fun. And I have to say that I was a little, I think I underestimated how important streaks are. Not that I thought they weren't important. Let me rephrase. But this version of a beat the game is really entertaining. And I was able to get my second streak in Ligue 1 limited this game week. And it was with a lineup that I thought would be competitive for it. And it ended up being, which was great. But it also really nailed home to me the importance of having multiple shots at the streak each game week and how good that is when you take advantage of it. And on the other side of that, like I play Contender, Rare, and Limited, but I play Rare with 1 lineup and I play Limited with 4. And I realize that what I'm about to say won't make any sense because I failed to get the streak in both. But having only 1 opportunity versus 4 is a huge difference. Like genuinely, and I know that sounds very like basic. Like, of course, it's better to have 4 chances, but I think genuinely, and I'll show you my league on lineups to show like how I got there and how I almost didn't get there. So we'll see. Sid said Madrid boys cooking, just concerned that they may have peaked a bit early here. I think Madrid are going to be very good this year, at least for in La Liga and for streaks. And so I think they're better this year than last year. You know, Mbappe with a full season under his belt. Once they figure out kind of like what's going on with some of their players, we saw some unfortunate for some people rotation yesterday. Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't start. Vinny Jr. didn't start. We did see Arda Güler finally come out and show everyone what he can do. And not that it was a big surprise, but I think the little surprise was Franco Mastantuono from River Plate getting a start. And so that may be more of the issues with Madrid, but also even if you get the starters right, maybe they only play 60 something minutes. Rodrigo started, he got 63 minutes, did take some set pieces. Mastantuono came off with him. And so, yeah, I think if you can get the guys right, and it seems like the obvious ones are Courtois, Dean Huijsen, I still don't know how to say that, and probably Mbappe and Federico Valverde. In fact, let's just look at that game. Hold on. I don't know why we're, let's see. Mbappe, let's pull it up here. Ashoka, what's up? And who else came in? Anyan. Hello. So yeah, we got Mbappe 96, Arda Güler 96 with an assist. Mbappe had a brace. Rodrigo 51 points in 63 minutes. Sorry. Tchouaméni 82. How did he get to 82? 47 AA. So 5 interceptions. We love to see it. 30 successful final third passes. Man. He had a double-double because, 9-2 duels won. Man, he's so good. He is so good. Mike said, I'm guessing that this is going to be a case whenever Real plays lesser teams, might actually be quite easy to predict, injuries aside. Totally agree. Totally agree. Arda and Yamal needs to become a decades-long rivalry. I hope so, because it just means that both of them are great. And I think that's all we want. We just want like great footballers showing all of us how great they are. Valverde 73, thanks to 28 passing points. Let's see, 4 attempted assists, 73 accurate passes, including 44 in the final third. I mean, again, when you're overmatched like they are, and they're going to be this way. Now, Oviedo are one of the weaker teams in the division, so I don't think we want to get like overly excited about what we're seeing here. God, Danny Carvajal 83. Let's see, 4 tackles, 1. Surely he got a double somewhere with 4 tackles, 1. Oh wait, here it is. What did he get it with the duels? Yeah, 5-1. Yeah, I mean, this is what you get. And so the more we see of Real Madrid, the more we're going to be able to see kind of where the rotations are, if we can get them. I feel like they're one of those teams that we know, like there's enough news out there. Somebody gets hurt that we'll be able to figure that out. Although all of this is obviously Camavinga still out. And just as Sid said, except one center back spot and right back rotation, hopefully the rest of them are a staple. I mean, it all depends. Like obviously this lineup here, what is that? A 4-2-3-1 may look a little different if, Vinny starts and they move, I don't know if they move Arda Güler up to the wing or they keep him in the 10. They can do that. And then, or even play like a 4-3-3 with Camavinga instead of Mastantuono. And they move back. Maybe Valverde moves up and Artist. There's got tons of options. But yeah, Danny Carvajal and Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think, is kind of the interesting one, because a lot of people expect Trent to smash. I think he played 3 minutes basically in this one because Carvajal went 83. Carvajal scores what the Trent holders want. Yeah, totally. Anion says, it's crazy to me that people got surprised by Trent being benched, knowing Alonso's desire for defensive work rate, and he is only jogging back every time. In fairness, I feel like that's something that probably should have been hashed out before they signed him. But who am I? And then obviously Alvaro Carreras, who I think is just going to be like the overlooked guy the entire season. You're getting a decent U23 lineup here, right? Like Huijsen still U23. Is Kamavinga still U23? He might be gone. Arda Güler, I don't think Mastantuono ends up playing as much, but maybe. I mean, maybe once Champions League starts up and we see the rotation, we'll get a clearer view. But yeah, I think there was a lot of frustration with Real Madrid last year, and I think they're going to be less frustrating this year. I'll put it that way. I'll go out on a limb there, if you will. But yeah, I mean, they were. That's what we saw from this weekend from Real Madrid. Here's our list of hundreds that. Who are these people? Wow. Tom Luche, or maybe it's Luchette. Lauchette. Oh, that's an interesting one. No clue. But I wrote about him in I do like a game week observation. I don't even want to call it an article. It's a blog post on my Patreon, which is available at patreon.com/Andrew M. Laird. So he had 100, and can I click on this score? Let's see. Oh, I can. Perfect. With 3 big chances created. Obviously had 1 or 2 assists, had another big chance created, and Nice kind of just like flew in this one. But part of it is because Donovan Leon, who is what I would say the community's favorite budget goalkeeper for Ligue 1, and was the budget champion goalkeeper, got a red card, and so he will not be available for their next match. Where did you click to get the list of best players for the week? Good question, Philly Dilly, and I'll show you right here. If you go from the homepage, it's in the My Lineups page. So if you just click that, and then top players. And this is it. And you can break it down by position. And if you do this by position, I'm sorry. If you look at My Players, which is just the people in your own gallery, you can then break it down by scarcity. So you could see like, oh, who were the highest scoring super rares that I had this weekend? And shout out to Alexandru Maxim. Oh my gosh, Dahomey had 81. Get out. That's frustrating because, as you can see, I didn't play him. If you see this little icon next to the name and you click on it, it'll bring up the modal of his score, but also it'll show you the lineups that you may have had that player in. So if you see here, I had Maxim right here in a all-star super rare lineup, thanks to Elias Olafsson for getting an error led to goal. And then I had Maxim captained here in All-Star Limited as well. 13 schema, you got the points needed for division battles in Bundesliga Limited. We can certainly look at it because we should know how many points it was required to get there. Another thing to point out, if anybody is unaware of this, if you want to look at competitions that you are not entered into, again, in My Lineups, and if you go to rewards, it'll show all of the competitions here. And so Samuel was asking for that icon. Looks like the card is sealed. I missed the icon. But anyway, was looking for Bundesliga because this is the division battle. And I actually commented about this on my Patreon post as well. Bayern Munich wins 6-0. And everyone's like, all right, you need Bayern stacks to make any money. Neuer, Stanisic, Kimmich, Luis Diaz, and Harry Kane gets, how many points was that? 514 points. And Kane also captain in the second lineup, Neuer in the third lineup. But if you notice here, they were the only Bayern players otherwise. Eintracht Frankfurt also had some huge scores. And as you see, you don't just need Bayern. You can get away with no Bayern unless you want to finish fourth, in which case you do need all Bayern. But Eintracht Frankfurt showing that in any game week, you can also compete with the guys at Bayern Munich. So let's see. Can I pull this full leaderboard? There we go. Oh, actually, hold on. I don't even need the full one. Maybe I do. Trying to see if there's no fast pass. So we'll see. Maybe there's not an easy way to do this. 20%. I mean, I guess we could just say 20. Is it 20% and make it to Division 1? 30%? I managed 420 with a team worth less than 20 pounds. Really? In Bundesliga? Wow. Sorry. So let's where did my do we have to go all the way? So I guess I bet I have to go back out. Sorry. Let's see here. Bundesliga. I thought it would show me. Sorry, I thought it would show me the total entries here. I feel like it's staring right at me. There we go. 5,564. So everybody won at least 500 XP since this was 6,000th and we didn't even have 6,000. I don't think. Let's go to the last page. Yeah. So everyone got, well, not everybody, because you need to have somebody playing in order to get a reward. I don't know if everybody knows that. But you have to have somebody score or play in order to be eligible for rewards. Riekeman's side was proper plucky underdogs. Let's check it out. Let's check out Riekeman's lineup, if hopefully they don't mind. Okay, contender, where's Bundesliga? Challenger, 421. This is a fun lineup. If I can just click on the right spot, my apologies. Technically 25 if you count the classic keeper. Yeah, we'll count it. Great call on Sinani. Wow, this is wonderful. 1,000 essence and 500 XP. You got a boost from vaulting. Well done. That's a great lineup. Cameron said, this is the smallest and worst my gallery has ever been, but it's working better. Had my best game week ever. That doesn't sound like the worst ever, though. That sounds like it's working. Hit music. Hello. Good to see you. Any tips for beginners? Yeah. Figure out what league you want to follow the most, because that's the league that you're going to end up following the most when you play on Sorare. So if you love the Bundesliga, I would recommend looking at Bundesliga. And if you like other leagues, then I would recommend looking at those. That's the quick tip that I have. Particularly for anybody who is new to the game, try not to overextend yourself in terms of time. Obviously, money. But yeah, I have far worse players and have spent far less, but they are winning more. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that means that they're worse now. I did notice that I haven't done my wheel spin today, so I'm going to do that while we chat. You can get some content creator luck while we're on the Sorare channel. Get in there. 100 XP. In fairness, I could use the XP. All right. Thank you, Sorare, for the XP. Um, yeah, so let's go back to those top players. As I was saying, I actually there's a lot of midweek action. We don't have a ton of competitions because there are not a lot of licensed teams playing. Like it's a lot of continental football, but I am going to have to make my lineups at some point, so we'll look into that. Come on. Is it maybe me getting better at Sorare than after all this time? Yeah, I mean maybe. Sorry, I'm freezing up a little bit there. Sorry, this is my own computer getting a little slow. So apologies for that. Let's see if we can optimize it a little bit. Oh, I know. There we go. Okay. Now that we are a little more optimized, let's see what we can do. There we go. Okay. We are. This is an incredible number of names with hundreds of guys. I'm not going to sit here and say I know every player in the world, but Kryzan, nope. Leonardo Lello, wow. Oh, Jouk Teixeira with 100, of course. Patrick Van Aanholt had 100 for Sparta. Oh my gosh. Wow. Let's see. Alexandra, I saw because we'll go into my League on ones in a second. Let's see. Stat. I think a lot of people who play Bundesliga knew. There's Rasmussen. Ooh, Sorare legend Ivan Obliakov. Dario Soria. Joel Dramel got 100. What had happened with wait a minute. Let's check out this penalty save and a clean sheet. Wow. Let's look at that Sparta game because this is crazy. Sparta, 3-0 away to go ahead. Laridison 85, Pele Clement 76, Bruno Martin Indies 83, and then Van Aanholt and Dramel 100. That's incredible. Sparta Rotterdam defensive stack scoring 200 away to go ahead. That's crazy. Just crazy. Cameron said, funny thing is I'm onto the fourth streak, and every time it's been my third choice lineup that's won it. That happens. And you said, I kind of feel I need to upgrade my team to hit streak 4 and contender for next weekend, but I also think I don't want to get a Vonnetzek or Reese for them to then have an off game. Tough decisions. If it makes you feel any better, Vonnetzek had his off game this weekend because I captained him in 2 lineups. So just saying. All right. Fabian Ruiz, we all saw that. Nahuin Perez with 100. I had him. Saw a bunch of people talking about Edward Spurzian, Mickey Yamane, Tajon Buchanan. Wow, Kai. This is now we're getting into the ones that we all like that we're used to seeing. Kai Wagner, Inacio, Pote. There's Kane Diaz. Oh yeah, and Timber had 100. Maxim. That's Alexandru Maxim, followed by Maxim Osipenko, a Sorare goat. El Krouani had 3 assists. I had a quick message from Harry Trades about that. No surprise. Marquinhos, 98 on a Friday. Hani Mukhtar. There's Pedri with his 98. Leroy Sané finally had his breakout game. There's Arda and Mbappe. Victor back. Yeah. The 99s are just as good as 100. Cameron said basically everybody above me in Eredivisie Division 1 had Dramel or Van Aanholt or both. Andreas, thanks for checking in. Yeah, this is a lot of guys. Like, man. Nico Paz's goal for Como was an absolute screamer. Free kick, curled in, left-footed, curled in. Ethan Laird, my boy. Oh, yeah, Nygren, João Pedro. Yeah, these are great. And there's Savage. I also kind of like looking at this just to see what the top lineups were. I'm going to go into Ligue 1 just because I competed there and I want to, oh my gosh, Olivier Giroud. Look at this lineup that won $2,000. Bryce Samba, classic. Leonardo Balerdi, Fabian Ruiz, captain 100. Love it. Oh, there's Luche or Luchette. Never know about the T. And Olivier Giroud. Oh my God. What did that? 459. Only, yeah, that's incredible. Speaking of, let me just go over to my lineups because I want to talk about basically what I did for streaks for Ligue 1. So I had 4 lineups going. Oops, sorry. There we go. 4 lineups going, one of which I thought was a bit of a long shot. And as you can see, basically most of them were long shots except one. The one that I thought was the longest of shots was this one, which I had in Division 3 anyway. Paris FC away to Marseille. And I got a notification early in the match that Mustafa Mbao, who is a center back for Paris FC, who I played with Obed Cambadio, I got a notification either about a last man tackle or a clearance off the line. I can't remember. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this lineup might be able to do something because I assumed that they were going to get crushed by Marseille. And it actually could have been worse than it was. But I was like, if he gets a decisive, like this might actually get where I need to go. And then they removed it. And then he committed a penalty. And then as you can see, he finished on 0. And Cambadio is this an error led to goal? Yeah. So they were the first match to play of this lineup. And I saw that I had 9 points. This was like, one of them was rounded up. And I was like, oh, man, 9 points is really bad. And then I looked and I realized it was 9 points from 2 players. And I was like, oh. Now, this wasn't like my top priority. Lamine Camara was away to Lille, and I had the Lille goalkeeper in another lineup, so I couldn't play him there. Bakwa didn't start. He was questionable to start, and Castillo ended up with a fairly poor game. I was kind of expecting more from Castillo, even though they were away to Toulouse. However, I didn't necessarily want him to have a big game. This is like the hedge of all hedges here. So, SR Monkey said, I would have won Prem D1 Limited if Bruno had scored that pen. So, yeah, pen misses were breaking things left and right. Muhammad said, it's funny you've got a Hakimi rare in there. Yeah, so my off-season plans included that Hakimi. Now, I have, like, that Hakimi card is part of a collection that I have that has nothing to do with Hakimi. But it's a fantastic collection of which I only have put in Hakimi, sorry. Of which I only have 3 cards. But I have that Hakimi card. I have a Lionel Messi. This is the first Messi rare Messi I ever had on the platform. And then I have this jersey mint Neymar. And so I bought the Hakimi because I was like, I wanted to play Ligue 1. I was going to play Ligue 1 rare this year. And with streaks, it just made more sense for me to play limited based on my budget, but I had already gotten the Hakimi rare. And so, yeah, he's kind of like my classic card in these lineups, which is, I know, sounds a little weird. So that's why he's there. And this Romain Del Castillo forward card is from my old Ren collection. And this is the lineup I thought would also struggle. Mike Penders is hurt for Strasbourg, but I wasn't sure like how, like they described his injury. He was subbed off in their game last midweek against Brøndby. It was described as not that serious, but that's it. And so it's like, all right, was he going to play this midweek? Excuse me, this weekend? And they had a really good matchup at home against Nantes. And so I ended up playing Johansson and Høgsberg. Høgsberg, who has missed the last couple games, but was supposedly going to be back. He's not. Cabal ended up getting 2 decisives against Marseille. Maxime Lopez is more of an AA guy and didn't get anything. And then Del Castillo was terrible. But my second lineup was actually this one, which basically played for a 0-0 between Monaco and Lille. I should have known that Monaco don't have any clean sheets anyway. So I got the clean sheet for Lille. Kendry Paez ended up starting for Strasbourg, but didn't do anything. Bakwa did not start, but got an assist, which was helpful. But then Henrique and Dyer were terrible for Monaco. And then I had this other lineup here. I also have like Lucas Herdecki, who I could have played with Dyer, but I didn't. But anyway, I had to get to 380 for the streak. And as you see here, I got to 384. And so I was able to get my streak extended to the second level. And now I have to hit 400 next game week. And I had already started looking at what that meant for next game week. As you can see here, I already claimed my League Unlimited. Is that actually? Yeah, 380, not 385. So I thought I missed it, to be honest. And then the kicker with this lineup is that Matias Fernandez Pardo didn't start. And so I got the Toulouse clean sheet. I knew I had Hakimi score from Friday. Aaron Donnan was terrible for Toulouse. He takes set pieces for them, but and he must not have done anything. Didn't even get an attempted assist. And so I thought this lineup was dead, and so I didn't even think. And then I got the notification that Pardo got an assist, or I got the notification that he came on, and I was like, oh, that's good, because I didn't even know he didn't start. And I got all excited, and then he got the assist, and then I got the notification that I had reached the second streak. And what was the notification here? You're heating up. That's another Liga Unlimited hot streak. Claim your reward. And I like rushed to claim it. And the countdown timer still had like 18 minutes left. And so I waited. And then as soon as it hit, I was like, oh, claim. And Opta hasn't done anything yet, but I'm on to the next streak and was already looking ahead to next weekend, game week 5. And I've already made 2 lineups here. Paris FC are at home against Metz. And so I have 3 Paris FC players in: Cambadio, Embao, and Lopez. The Hakimi away to Toulouse. And then I have Matias Fernandez Pardo, but again, he doesn't start or hasn't started yet. And the only other forwards I have right now are Kvaratskhelia, who didn't play this week because of a muscle injury. I have no idea if he's going to come back. I assume because he's dealing with an injury, he doesn't start, but who knows? Or if he does, he doesn't play 90. And then I have Bakwa, who's away to Monaco. So I also have this Monaco lineup here that currently has Kvaratskhelia in it, but Strasbourg, who I have Mike Penders. Raul was saying Penders is back. I mean, he hasn't played, so I don't know like how back he is. But the that's what I have set up for this weekend. But if you noticed with this lineup, I got relegated from Division 1. And I know I'm only thinking about streaks at this point, but being relegated from Division 1 and only having one Division 1 lineup is kind of a bummer. Switch Lopez with Camaro to get the bonus percentage. So I thought about that. But kind of my other thought was, is it worth it? Is Kamara that much better? I mean, excuse me, let's see, used in other lineups. I mean, it's 2%. So like, is Kamara at home against Strasbourg 2% better? The answer is probably, I don't know. Like I said, I had so many players who got subbed off in the first half this game week. Too much injury news to monitor. It's a lot. So if we do that, then this I end up with kind of the Lopez and Cabal. I don't know. I mean, we may as well just do these here. I was going to do lineups today anyway, but this was more for the midweek that I have to do lineups for. But for the weekend, so I have Monaco at home against Strasbourg. So without the Herdecki one was already in there. So then I have Penders at Monaco, which isn't great. And then Auxerre away to Lorient. That's probably the third best matchup because it's certainly not Restus at home against PSG. So theoretically, we could play it this way. Yes, I have 2 Eric Dyers. Donham's home against PSG, so I'm not going to do that. Buwadi ended up starting this weekend, which was kind of a bummer. I'm not sure I have much else to get excited about here. And forwards, it's got to be Bakwa because I just have a ton of Bakwas. But away to Monaco, that doesn't really work with Dyer. And then even if I did a full Monaco defensive stack here, that still leaves me with somebody from, this is ugly, Del Castillo away to Lens. Buwadi if he started, but he did. Yeah, probably not. Let's do this for now. Like, it doesn't feel overly exciting. But again, you just need 4 shots. So then the last one is like, do I try Penders away to Monaco or Restus at home against PSG? You would think the upside is with Restus, who has 2 clean sheets in 2 matches, which is pretty good. I don't know. It's only Monday. We don't have to do that. What we do have to do is lineups for the midweek. Now, actually, for those of you who follow my content a lot, I'm a big arena guy, and I barely played arena this weekend. And I don't know how I'll do it this week, but let's see what we have for All-Star. Projected, man, I didn't get any of them in Division 1. That is a bummer. I thought my lineups were more competitive. Whoops. Let's see my all-star lineups from this weekend. I couldn't get anything in. This is my only arena lineup. It was a late entry. Where'd it go? And I finished 10th. Well, I guess I still have Collidio. Anyway, all-star rare. I had this lineup that I was very excited about. I wrong captained it with Barco. In fact, I was excited about all of these. Here's Teddy Tuma still has to play. I wonder how close I am from Division 1 there. But this one's not bad. Davidashvili, but here's Vonnetzek. I think I double captain Vonnetzek. Yep, here too. And I guess here I still have Zelarayan. But yeah, got a 9 from Nahuel Guzman here and 14 from Elias Olafsson here, which is not ideal. Mohammed said, I entered my first arena this week, got into a golden. Anyone want to guess where I finished? I'm guessing you finished first. I mean, we would all love a 100 from Teddy. Mike said, I've decided arena at the weekend is too much. Late arenas and midweeks is where the profit is to be made. That could be the case. I've got a lot of lineups, a lot of, cards that are playable this week that I'm going to inevitably be in plenty of arenas, I guess. We have another super rare lucky loser promo. This just in until Friday, 4 p.m. CET. If you finish second, third, or fourth in any Bundesliga super rare auction, you'll get some essence. So there you go. That's available. So looking at the midweek, let's see. Sid said I had 6 players with a decisive and champion only for Militao to DNP. Ooh. Mohammed, you finished 8th. That's, 8th and golden is nothing. It's what you do. So I've got Midland away. I don't know what the odds are here. Let's see what Sorare Inside's got for us. Midland 57% to win against Quopion Palosera, who I've never heard of. Then we have Rijeka, Brøndby against Strasbourg midweek, Orlando at Miami, Mignolet and Club Brugge at home against Rangers. That's an interesting one. Oh no, that's actually pretty high. I was going to say Olafson's L15 usually is pretty good for arena, but now it's not as great. But Mignolet's looks all right. Are those all the goalies I have? Okay, so we've got 3 Olafsons, Zlomislich, Pence, Gaieze, Mignolet. 7 rare keepers for the midweek. With Mignolet probably the best matchup, right? Let's see. We've got Vallecano, Fiorentina. I was thinking like best amongst mine. Man, they're going to be some monster scores. AZ 72% to win. Utrecht 71. There's Rijeka. Huge underdogs. Bruges, Benfica. There's Copenhagen against Basel. Midtjylland 57. All right. Not terrible. Not terrible. So Pence feels like the guy from this perspective. Celtic, where were they? Against, I don't know, 62%. So let's get Ralston in. And then I'm going to play Kohlert here to play with Pence. That's a Brøndby defensive stack. Pico player says Lomislich will have the lowest floor, but upside for 100, even if conceding. I mean, that's a fair point. You can say that against any team that's going to get battered. Yeah. Budo are in. Where are they? 42%. Oh, away to Sturm Graz. Yeah, that's not perfect. Where was Club Brugge? There's Van Aken. How great is this card? I get excited playing that. Like every time I play that card, I get excited. Because look at it. It's as simple as that. Just look at how fun it is. So Rosenborg away to Mainz. Yeah, the Midtjylland situation is a little weird. Let's go to Mickey. Let's see what he says. Very tough lining to predict. Yeah, they won 4-0 in the first leg. Yeah. So Castillo, Silva, Bravo. who I do have. It's really the front three that are the problem. Actually, with this lineup, is Castillo on set pieces? Did I say Castillo? I meant Silva, Danny Silva, who never got opened. Oh, Voss. Dario Simpson and Francolino on a heater. They are. Francolino's a beast. I'm shocked he's still there. Frankly, Osorio, I'm surprised is there, and Simsier shouldn't be there either. Oh my gosh, Magnus Matson, 90%. That's so scary. Messi still out. Maybe he didn't travel to DC this past weekend. Let's see what we got. Inter Miami. Messi remains a question mark until we get a new update, hopefully after the weekend. Same goes for Alba. Those chances of playing are slimmer. Yep, that all makes sense. I would love to play Messi, as you do. These all my forwards? Surely I should have more than that. All right. If I do love playing the Budo guys together. Do we captain Hans just for the vibes? That seems reasonable. All right, I'm going to put that one in. I'm going to take a quick break from the lineup building to look at some streak data. You guys came expecting some streak data, and here it is. So what you're looking at here is how many people have reached each, or have reached each level. So there are now 3 people who hit the 5th streak in Contender limited. Limited. And 2 have hit it in Jupiler. Let's actually see. That should be easy to find. I guess it shouldn't be super easy, but 450 is the number, right? Let's see. Let's see what the 488. Oh, there are a bunch of people. Oh, hold on. 4, 6. Oh, I guess there are plenty of people who got it. So not that easy to see it. But yeah, 2 people have reached the 5th one. I hate to do this, but I have to because he's incredible. QTN is not one of them. QTN missed Jupiler on the 3rd level, so he went back here somewhere. But yeah, 3 people in Contender and 2 in Jupiler have reached all 5 and now get to start from the beginning again. And so congratulations to them. Absurd accomplishment, to be honest. But right now we are sitting, let's see, in game week, this current game week, 1,200 people got to the first streak in Jupiler, 1,300. When you say hit the 5th streak, do you mean they're on the 5th streak or have successfully completed? So this is successfully completed. So 3 people successfully completed all 5 steps of Contender limited and 2 in Jupiler. Which again is an incredible accomplishment. And there are now 56 people in, I'm sorry, there are 8 new people in Jupiler. Now, let me show this. So 56, I want to talk about Jupiler specifically though. So there were 56 people after last game week who had made it through to who made it through the 4th with an opportunity to get to the 5th. Now there were a number of teams that did not play this game week. And so it's not like 54 people were unsuccessful. A lot of people took it off because like Bruges didn't play, Ghent didn't play, Genk. I think Genk, like the big clubs didn't play this weekend. And so while 8 more people got through the fourth streak. We will see this number probably higher next week as more people go for it. For the 5x streaks, people can only be going for the third streak now, correct? That is correct. So in Premier League, La Liga, and Ligue 1, no one is beyond the second streak. So for Ligue 1, like there were 188 people last game week who went for the first. Actually, yeah. So there are 188 people who got through the second streak through 2 weeks. I'm one of them. Get in. So like I was one of the 719. I'm one of the 188. And so hopefully next week we see a lot on a next line that shows how many people got through the third one. 533 in Spain in La Liga, which is significantly higher, as you see, than Ligue 1. I think PSG rotation is really messing with some people early in the season. So we'll see how that plays out. And then Germany in Bundesliga 822, which is less than we saw in the first week of La Liga and less than we saw in the Prem, although it could be just fewer people participating. La Liga numbers are huge for the second. 533. Yeah. Yeah, because like we only saw, there are only 188. Wow, that is a lot. That is very high. You're right. You're right. Rico Mon is also pointing out that for Eredivisie, there were some teams that didn't play. And so, yeah, we saw what looks like a very big drop in the number of people who succeeded, but it's actually that a lot of people took it off because, yeah, some of those games didn't happen, which, is what happens. Challenger, there are now 110 people who have gotten through the fourth streak. So they'll be going for their fifth next week. That seems like a very high number, which is fun to see. And Contender continues to be a mess. I can show you my Contender lineups and how much of a mess they were. For those of you who don't know, like I rely on River Plate and Racing Club. And they decided this week to not help me. Racing Club lost 4-1. I had 2 players combined for 10. That was my defensive stack. Cecina did all he could. Captain got a goal. Yellow card didn't help. But this one was relegated. Frankly, if they relegated me all the way to Division 3, I would totally understand it with 184 points. I played the Racing guys also here. Almendra didn't play. Colidio, River Plate still have to play. So the problem is that they're expected to heavily rotate. So while this looks like a River Plate stack, Armani and Casco are the only ones who actually play for River Plate. LGP, Leandro Gonzalez Perez, is at Estudiantes now. And then Rodrigo Alejandro is at Velez. And that's going to be an uphill battle on that one. I got a goal from Zuriko Davidashvili. River Plate are expected to rotate, so I played Ledesma here. He's the backup, even though I played Armani up here. And we'll see what happens. Facundo Mayo didn't start, got 37 points off the bench, and then this is some more Racing Club shenanigans. And if anybody hasn't seen the Angel Di Maria goal from this weekend, it's awesome. It's an awesome goal. But so a lot of people who are relying on that, the Contender numbers are dropping pretty significantly. Philly Dilly, you are correct. You cannot take a week off for the 5X. So that's for the 4 champ leagues. You have to do it. You get one shot. It's got to be the first 5 weeks. Bundesliga gets an extra week because they started this week instead of last. And so there's that. Rico Mon said, I only know that the Eredivisie didn't have matches. Some of them didn't because you skipped it. Makes sense? 822 in Bundesliga. Yes. That's 822. So 822 lineups hit the streak in Bundesliga. Hit the first streak. Which we can look at the whole 822 we said. Whoops, I didn't need to go that far. Let's see, 822. I could have done the math in my head, but it would have taken too long. And so I'm just going to click here. All right, here we go. 820. There we go. 822. That doesn't seem to make sense. Isn't it 360? This looks like it's higher. Is it 822 or 882 now that I say that? Germany, 822. Huh, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't updated. Do I have it for rare as well? I don't think I do. Hold on. I do not have it for rare. Let me see if I can get it. But as you see, yeah, Bundesliga pretty high scoring. Like, what does the 892nd lineup look like? Whew. Looks like that. I know you guys appreciate that analysis. So let's see. Yeah, 360. So it's actually higher than 822. I don't know, unless I feel like the difference wouldn't be like canceled lineups. It seems like a lot of canceled. But yeah, Bundesliga was quite high scoring today, or this game week. And for Prem, 576 new people, because the 1137 from the previous week would be going for the second streak, so they're not counted in here. But I'll see if I can get that data for rare, Mohammed. There we go. Okay. So yes, contender, obviously we're seeing Argentina kind of wind down. We have this weird similar lineup situations in leagues that are ending versus leagues that are beginning. Like we had Copa Libertadores and Sudamericana. So like we have midweek rotation in Argentina, and it's like end of season rotation. Whereas in all the European leagues, we're seeing teams rotate a little bit in the weekend in order for their midweek Conference League or Europa qualifiers, Champions League qualifiers. And so a lot of it is just, we're dealing with this kind of like both beginning and end of season rotation that ultimately is, making it difficult for a lot of people to get these streaks going. And I wonder if once the qualification stuff is over, we get a little bit of help, but probably not. It's almost like it'll be more helpful for the teams that don't make it. And you said you heard it here first. Rocco will be the next Kimmich. Wow. I mean, I understand that he's good. Rocco reads from Gladbach. And these scores certainly look good. Oops. The next Kimmich is really something, though. Would you rather Reitz or Angelo Stiller? Because he's another one that looks like he could be a Kimmich guy. But I like that call, Anyan. I don't know. Here we go. Mohammed, your lucky day. Here is the data for rare. So let's see what we got. So there are 17 people in Challenger. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. There was only 17 people who got through the third streak in Challenger. Man, 3 in Contender. But again, we're talking about all the Contender changes, and 3 have gotten through for Jupiler, which is active. Yeah, we'll see where this goes. La Liga, 85. So 53 have already made the second streak in La Liga Rare. What did we say it was in Limited? About 10 times more. 53 in Eredivisie, matching that. How about that? And then 105 in Jupiler. Wow. Is this, hold on. 105 in the second streak. Sorry, second, not the third. And then 9 has gone through the second streak. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I think you were looking at going. Yeah, so this is going into 5th. You're right. But there should be some people who have gone for the 5th in Contender, because that's been going on for a while. I feel like Rocco has more development potential while Stiller is already close to prime age. Both are good alternatives, though. I actually didn't even look. Stiller 24, Reitz 23. He's not that much younger. But I see what you're saying. Yeah. And we think that nobody hit the 5th streak in Contender. That's why nothing comes up here, which is, disappointing for those people. But we did have some in Limited. So there's that. So we'll see. See, this is starting to make me think like, oh, should I start looking at next weekend already? I got to get 400 points in Ligue 1 for next week. I also feel like, so I used to do this show on called Rabbit Hunting, which is where I would go back and see how like my best scoring lineups would have done had I or my best scoring players had I played them all together. And I was looking at this one from Ligue 1 and I was like, man, there's a good lineup here somewhere, but there really isn't. All of the midfielders were quite bad. And the forwards I got lucky on. Both of them came off the bench other than Del Castillo. But Fernandez Pardo and Bakwa came off the bench to get decisives. And I was looking at it from an all-star perspective, or champion, excuse me. So I had 4 champion lineups. Some of them kind of were like, they're not throwaways, but it was a division battle. So I was like, oh, I'll just try to get whatever I can. And I ended up playing around with this Ren lineup. And if you told me that Omari would have been the highest scoring player, I would have laughed at you. But here you are laughing at me. But this is a lineup I made from my Ren collection. Bern Leno obviously is not part of that Ren collection. But Alamdar is the only active goalie, or there are no active goalies from that team. So I couldn't play one. But Omari was an L15 of 0. And I thought it was just fun to play this lineup together, but I ended up moving some guys out. Truffert, everybody convinced me on a lineup building stream I should play him elsewhere. So I played him here with these other guys, which felt a lot more competitive. And the scores in Champ this game week were wild. Like as we see, the first place scored 766. Courtois, Mittelstadt, Upamecano, Kimmich, Pedri, Mbappe, Rafinha. Man, that's really fun. We also have matches happening today, so it's possible that this doesn't win. Ashkoa, who was here earlier, shout out to you. Courtois, Nuno Mensch, Upamecano, Pedri, Olise, Mbappe, Rafinha. And then let me just do the full leaderboard so we can look at these absurd top lineups. Wait, I'm sorry. Ash Cohen wasn't there. Oh, PSU fans too are a good friend. He actually complained to me about this, the 748 with no and didn't win. Fifth place, Chevalier, Balerdi, Santiago, Mourinho, Hoiberg, Guler, Mbappe, Pedri. Nas, what's up? My game week's it's going. These are not my lineups, and so this is how we look at like really good lineups. Black Flag second. Let's see here. Mignon, Pavlovic, Hakimi, Giovanni Lo Celso was so good. Pedri, and then Luis Diaz and Kane. I've just missed Verts in my craft. I'm devastated. Oof. 755 to finish us off. Guler, Pedri, Mbappe, Vinny, Carnesecchi, Hakimi, and Mittelstadt. Wow. Salute to you. But yeah, some insane points in champ this week, which is what happens when Bayern win 5-0 or 6-0, excuse me. But that's how I was like, oh, there's a good lineup here somewhere. But even if I had done that, like, let's see, Merritt, Juan Jesus. I don't even know if I have another defender that would have scored well. I guess Di Lorenzo. So like a Napoli defensive stack. Rafinha. My midfielders weren't even that good. Oh, Tchouameni was good. Oh, Zerban got in like there's nothing here. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I have like great champ cards, but there's that. But the surprise one was my U23 because I don't really play U23, but I happen to play it. And Nahuel Knoll, and I remind Harry Trades of this every game week. I believe Nahuel Knoll has 2 clean sheets and a pen save this season. Yeah. And I struggled with him all last season while he was on loan at Firth. But he's at Hanover now, 2 clean sheets and this pen save. And so now I'm like, oh, maybe I should play U23 a little bit. But I had something here. My Brium captain, I don't know what I was thinking. I was probably just going for the vibes or something like that. But had I played, Gogorza didn't start, so I probably wasn't going to play him. And Boadi I had in this lineup here. But then it was kind of questionable if he was going to play. If I knew he was going to play, I'd probably play him instead of Esposito. But that's probably the only change that I make. And I finished, let's see. Oh, I was 1 point away from tier 2. Top 25 got a tier 2, and I finished 28th. Knoll and Pele Bovink on redemption seasons. Is Bovink actually playing? I know he's at Firth now. No, this is what Firth lineup or goalkeepers look like. I will say I've been interested in possibly like bringing in some European contender cards for in season, but I just haven't gotten there yet. And I look at Bovink like that, and I'm like, oh, that's who you would get. But we'll see. Just confirming that there's nothing here because there's no additional column because nobody reached the pinnacle of streaks in rare this game week. So just clearing that up. Yeah. Let's see. So what else we got? Bovink better than 3 Bundesliga at least has a chance now. I suppose so. If we want to look at it that way. I can recommend Muslija. I remember some people talking about him. Nice to recommend after a very, very good game. 3 shots on goal, 3 attempted assists. Oh, sorry, I'm covering that up for you guys. Wychez, let's see. So 17 people are on the 5th streak in Rare Challenger. Let's see, Challenger, Rare 17. Yes. So 17 people, got to level 4, like completed level 4 this game week. I didn't even look at what the main contender scores were. Francesco, sorry, the 5th streak is how many points? I'm like so far away from it that I don't even think about it. So let's look at that. And then Francesco, I'll grab yours in a second. So the 5th streak is 510. Wow. So, and 510. Now that doesn't mean everybody who scored 510, oh my gosh, won in Division 1. Oh, wait, you're talking about Challenger, not Contender. Apologies. Sorry, I get really excited about talking about Contender. All right. How do there we go. Challenger. There we go. Rare. Oh, Matsuyama. GG's. So Challenger, Rare, 542, 5. So these 3 could have made it, assuming they were on the level. Isn't the rare sheet out of order? So that's not the 5th streak. So this column, this column is how many people reached the first level, like accomplished it. This is how many have accomplished the 2nd, accomplished the 3rd, and accomplished the 4th. Nobody got to the 5th. Like nobody got to 510 this game week in rare. Was that the question? Sorry, hold on. So 17 people are on. Yeah. So 17 people are on the 5th streak in Rare Challenger, which, right, is not 510. Well, they'll have to get 510 next game week. This game week, it's 460. So it's plenty of people, but we don't know exactly. Like it's tough to tell on the, you can't tell from the lineup exactly how many it is. I got the 5th streak in JPL Limited. Just out of curiosity, is it possible to see how many people did as well? Yes. So JPL 5th streak. It looks like one other person did it this game week. But there are a lot of people who have already reached the 4th, like have accomplished the 4th and didn't play this game week. Estonian Weirdo, what's up? Gabriel Arias should retire. I have Facundo waiting for his time for ages already. Well, these occasional random games, but still. I mean, I hope not, just because I have both, but I have more Arias ones. Hello to you, non-083, something like that. But yeah, these are the numbers for limited. Yeah. It just puts into perspective kind of like where other people are. And obviously, like we said, Jupiler didn't have full games today, or this game week. So some people just held off. Let's check. Let's do some more rare all-star lineups. It really just depends on how many goalies and forwards I have, which is kind of how it always settles. We'll try Mignolet in this one. Just trusting Midtjylland, I guess. What could go wrong? Just trusting Midtjylland. Copenhagen. That's a tough matchup, though. Oh, wait. I'm not sure. Let's do super rare. Olofsson. Oh, Paulinho. This is going to be Midtjylland and Copenhagen. This is how I get my Sorare Scandinavia respect. Elianasi and Robert Lubicic. This is going to be Matson, isn't it? Matson and Kohler. Seems like a solid lineup. I'm not sure there's anyone I would play otherwise. Simsir's one. I don't know where I would play him, though. I guess you play him instead of Matson, but the rotation possibility scares me a little bit. Like, even if he doesn't start, he plays, but that worries me. So I kind of do that just so I get those cards out of the lineup builder for rare. I know I can play super rares down here, but I'd just like to keep it separate. So Mignolet, I can actually play that exact same lineup, I think, in rare. Do I just do that and YOLO? So I've got Olofsson, Paulinho. Oh, I don't have Lopez. Lopez is the one I'm missing. But I could do Elianasi. And Kohler, I don't have a forward. Evian. This is me just doing things to do things, though. Matson. Who is the other one? Oh, Kohler. It was Marcos Lopez and Kohler that I can't do because I already have Kohler in this lineup here. Don't I? Yeah, there he is. And then do I just play JPH? Man, this Messi thing is frustrating. Let's try that. Could go wrong, right? I think ultimately the way that I end up playing midweeks is just like building lineups and just hoping for the best. And I think the hoping for the best is I don't know how much I can do that and expect something. So maybe I just play that as it is. Where am I here? There we go. Like, would you guys hold these out and just do late entries? Or do you stick with All-Star? I just end up using so many cards in SO7. There's Sar away to Brøndby. I got So Young Woo. Did he play this last game? He did. These are kind of like those random sneaky ones that I'm like, oh, there we go. Who are these guys? Oh, there's Danny Silva. We were going to play him, right? Was. Oh boy. Just all roads lead back to Magnus Matson. What could possibly go wrong? Jordan Larson. Since we know he's going to play, there's Bravo and I like Bravo. Let's do that. Or do we dare? Wonder if I can do a under 23 lineup. I don't think I even have a goalkeeper. But, well, I know I don't. But how far can we get as like an essence push? Doesn't look like very far. Castillo, Simsier. Although I might need Bakwa. Oh man, I am going to do this, aren't I? Is it worth trying this with a DNP goal? Oh, I'm going to have 2 DNPs back. Lehan Bum, I doubt plays. I mean, if he plays, this is dumb. Junior Mwanga. Is this worth possibly getting relegated from Division 2 to back to 3? It's a DNP goalie and a center back who he might play. What do we think? I'll let you guys decide. I'll submit it for now and we'll see. It just feels like there's some essence to be had. And why not? So what does that leave us for Arena? We've got another Olafsson. Oh yeah, Zlomis Slitch and Gallese against Miami. Maybe without Messi. And of course, I have like some Orlando defenders with super low, super low L15s that would fit in perfectly. I'll skip that for now. Okay, All-Star. Cameron, of course we're still live. Why not? And I didn't even get into Division 1 in limited. I got plenty of Olafsons here. Got another Pence. I could do Pence Kohler here. Let's see how this looks. Pence Kohler. I'm just going to do limiteds here. Paulinho. Hans. Do you have set times for these shows? Cameron, Sorare Spotlight has been every Monday at 5 o'clock BST, 6 o'clock Central Europe, or 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's my time. And my expectation is that continues. There is a rotation for all the languages. Yes. In fact, I don't think it's been solidified, but I will share it with you. At least the start. So this show obviously will be Mondays in English. There is an Italian one later today, in like a couple, like 2 hours, 90 minutes, excuse me. French on Tuesday with Torque. Wednesday is with Willie. That's in Spanish. Thursday is with No Time. That is in German. There is also an English version for the U.S. sports, NBA and MLB. It's MLB now on Thursday nights, meaning night in the. Actually, I don't know which night it is, whether it's Thursday night in the U.S. or Thursday night somewhere else. And then Friday is in French. And then there's some Saturdays in German. Oh, enjoying the bank holiday. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this has been the standard time. I'll put it that way. And we can't play Bakwa there because he's playing against our goalie. And I don't know about the Orlando guys. Hogsburg's still 70%. Scares me. I'm not going to lie. Crucial match. Logically, Penders, Hogsburg, Murrow are back. If Bakwa hadn't been transferred by then, it's quite possible he'll start. Yeesh. But it's a tough match. Do you get bank holidays in the US? We do. Today is not one of them, though. Let's see. Jordy Vanlerberg. Oh, man. Are we going to get... Nope. There we go. Oh, yeah, because Kleiber's hurt, right? So this is what it could look like. I have a thing with like having my players next to their teammates. This does lose the multi-club bonus, though. So maybe I could probably use all the help I could get. So if I don't play Vanlerberg... Wow, Ingeson's there. Who else could we play? Gabriel, Sar, at Brøndby. That's just hoping for 0-0, basically. Oh, that gets rid of the multi-club bonus too. So we don't want to. So maybe it just didn't. Maybe it doesn't work. And we just play it anyway, like that. That seems reasonable. I hope this wins, and then we can all come back to this next week and be like, "Oh my gosh, remember when you made that lineup and it won?" And I'll say, "Yes, yes, I did," or "Yes, I do." Let's see what we have available to win. Kimmich, Olise, Yamal, Mbappe, Pedri, Kane, Luis Diaz, Rafinha. I mean, this stars will be stars. Holy. Wow. Then not as many. Philly Dilly, your boy Jordan Pickford's here, checking in. Yeah, those are some monsters available for sure. Who are you guys looking at? I wrote up a little bit about a few guys on my Sorare with Laird Patreon, just like some observations I made for the game week. But I was curious if there are any like individual performances that you guys we haven't like touched on yet that you guys thought we should look at, because that's sort of the point of this show. Little community effort on finding the guys that we think we should be looking at. I was looking at the Prem. Berg has 93 points in 63 minutes. He's like remembered who he is. As weird as that sound. $65 and 93 against Heracles. 4 attempted assists, 2 shots on goal. He just pretty much just did everything. Nothing wrong with that. 33. Yeah, that's fun. I knew just the mention of Pickford would startle Philly Dilly a little bit. Cameron said Burgess had 290 scores out of him in 3 games this season. Yeah. Let's see. Pickford with 100. Anyone else with 100? Oh, no. Pickford didn't have 100. Osako with 87. Wait, where is? Oh, there he is. Only a 90 for Pickford. We can't all be Walter. Look at us doing some goalkeeper scouting here. Sacco. You can see how many of these guys I don't have. Oh, I had a Andres Fernandez limited, not in a lineup. There's our boy Nahuel Knoll. These are all kind of pedestrian scores at this point. Man. But it is funny kind of for me to look those. Kind of want to see what we have in the Prem now. L40 is a little tough. Yeah. As you see, like the first 2 guys are brought in from this season. So Boscagli obviously destroyed Eredivisie last year. Well, for a couple seasons. Gyökeres in Primeira Liga in Portugal. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Trafford. I was commenting to somebody the other day about Trafford's price versus others, and then I saw this performance here. I'm not sure what to do with Trafford. Meaning, like, I mean, I don't have him, but look up. Sorry, Cameron says look up Kodai Sano right here from NEC. Next big thing in the Eredivisie. Ooh, look at those scores. 73 and 75 without decisives. 40 AA. 2 big chances create. Oh my goodness, what a monster game that could have been. That's a fun one. The game before, 39. 2 big chances created. Wait a minute. Is that 4 big chances created in two games? Had bids of 12 million rejected. Wow. I'd sell Trafford as Donnarumma is basically done, isn't it? I thought that was the case. Yeah. I don't know what I don't know where they are with that. It seems weird to me for a club like Man City to like, is there that big of a difference between Ederson, Trafford, and Donnarumma? Bear said Cody Sano is amazing. I sold his card for £5 last week. Oh, his old card. Bear, players who got transferred will no longer appear in common packs for their old teams, right? How are we supposed to complete this thing to earn the market credits? I think, yeah, I think that's the case. I don't know what they do, to be honest, with the in those situations, because they're not going to keep minting them that way. And so, like, if you don't get them beforehand, I'm not sure if there is a way to complete them or if they kind of take them out. Yeah. Red or Dead 69, been a minute. Looking for a budget rare in-season contender forward. Any suggestions? None off the top of my head that are not in Argentina. and that may not be what you're looking for. But let's see. We'll go to forwards. A little scouting here on Sorare. So you want an in-season contender forward. Is that because you're using a classic elsewhere in the lineup, red or dead? These are the guys. What did you say? 40 euros. So these prices are in seasons. And again, I'm just looking at the scouting page here. If you want something from a European league, just so you have a little more. You said no because my forwards are weak, but why not use a classic forward? Because you're up the possibilities open up a lot. Like Andres Martin here is a card that you could use if you got his classic card. And that pretty much leaves us all for all of them. But let's see. Let's take out the leagues that are ending. So 2 Bundesliga still going on, La Liga, HNL. If we're just looking at in seasons. Fraser Hornsby, excuse me. Looks pretty decisive dependent. Kylian Corredor. But this is kind of like with the range where you are. There's just not that many great ones. I have Cecina Classic. Really need an in-season to boost my lineups. Have 2 in-season keepers. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you end up with classic guys like Hulk. He's an option. Excuse me, if he was a classic, but just like contender forwards don't jump out. Keenan Karaman, who I just won recently. What did he do this weekend? Not much. I can't speak intelligently on him at all. But Hergota's an interesting one just because Firth like to score, but as you can see, his scores aren't that great. I don't know who this guy is. Beljo. Oh, he's in Croatia and also $192. So maybe not quite what you were looking for with a $40. Inigo Vicente. Yeah. Dusan Vukovic from Lokomotiva in season, 26 euros from Sorare. There you go. Davidashvili would be great if he stays. I think he's a lot more expensive though. I would love it if Davidashvili stayed. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's what we have. Transitioning from South America to Europe is important. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Like, I really should be looking at guys like this because I don't have a lot of contender, like European contender guys. Hebert said Dessers may be a good one. He'll probably get back to playing soon, either for Rangers again or another league. Well, the other league is what ends up being the problem. So like for me, as I play a lot of contender, but I play it with, like, it's just packed with Argentina. Can I take like league out here? Teams. Yeah, it's just a lot of Argentina. Like I'm going to have to, if I want to keep playing contender, I'm going to have to basically overhaul everything, as you can see, because these are all classics now. Stj Resnick, another one for challenge for Eredivisie. Rezink. Sheesh. What did that say? Groningen captain at 22. Chase is on the Reims train, little Teddy Chuma action. I don't dislike that. This kid, goodness gracious. Some good scouting here, Cameron. Nice job. Very nice job. Where lost my screen here, sorry. Adama Bojang. $65 without a decisive. Big chance created. 3 attempted assists, shot on goal. Oh, and he's under 23 too. What do rhymes look like? It's really like romps or something like that. Whoops. This is where I meant to go. I listened to Cam and I would have possibly won Eredivisie this past weekend. Pico players, I just looked at this kid this morning. There you go. What do these guys look like? I assume Teddy's the most expensive. Who is this guy? He's not really there. So there's Teddy. Hold on. Let's just go to the let's just go to the whoops. Okay. I mean, if Nicolas Palois, captain. I mean, if this is your entry point, it doesn't seem so bad. I need to listen to myself more often. Cantona kicker on Sorare. My gallery is similar to yours, and that we both play contenders and keep continuity. I mean, first page Paulo Diaz right there. So I love it. I love it. I won't even look further. I bought him specifically for the Heracles fixture this weekend, and he had 75 plus in the last 2 game weeks since I bought him. I love that. Evan Gassand from Villa. Scored a lot last year for Nice. Yeah, that is pretty good. But like, well, I guess there's a little AA there. And now at Villa. Nice are one to look out for in the next couple weeks. Arouge bought a couple first ever uniques today. Looking forward to next week. Ooh, uniques are fun. Congratulations on that. That's big. I've never purchased a unique on Sorare. Tried once, didn't work. It's funny how many like Joey Veerman regens Cameron's pulled up here. I guess we should just do L5. Who are the players currently in form in the Eredivisie? Don't want that. Can we do... Here we go. Someone who has played at least 80% of the last 5. So 4 of the last 5. Morrow Jr. is Perisic, Parrott. A lot of PSV, AZ, and Feyenoord, although those Calvin Verdonk. And it's just NEC season. How far does Verdonk get us? He's made a little run, I guess. That's fair. AZ, Feyenoord, PSV, Sparta Rotterdam. Wait, no, wasn't Sparta. It was they're playing Sparta. Feyenoord, Heerenveen. Does anyone know when? Oh, Dest. Does anyone know when Pavel Bolshnevitz gets back from his torn ACL for Heerenveen? He's got PSV after the international break. That's never good. FIFA 20 Road to Glory, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Oh, there's Sano. And Berghuis. For real, though, like what does NEC look like? Why do they have these guys who are like just smashing their faces off? Like I don't play Eredivisie, so this is like, oh, there's Vito van Croy, Cruz. I don't know. Hmm. Just very solid. I'm just going to do this to tighten the list down. Oh, Cherry's there. Vito possibly on his way to Fortuna. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess the biggest like risk. Well, not the big. One of the risks right now is that they, any of these guys transfer. Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see. What's the? I mean, they did just start, but like standings. That's what I wanted. Don't even have to leave Sorare. So NEC's top of the table. I guess that's what happens when you score 12 goals and concede one. Wow. NEC, PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord, AZ in eighth. Jason said, I've got a 3% collection. Yeah, that seems like you're well on your way. Props to anybody who got these guys, who like saw these guys beforehand, because obviously if you can get guys like that early, it'll work. I wonder if, do we see a bunch of NEC stacks at the top of Eredivisie this game week? Sorry, my watch just told me to stand up. Let's see. Eredivisie. What do these top lineups look like? Geo 87's like, I've known all along. Well, there you go. And this one didn't even have that guy. What was his name? I've already forgotten his name. I mean, got a couple of them. There's, oh, Cody Sano. I love this. Just like, I just have so much like so rare respect for people that can pull this off and do it like before everybody notices. And maybe they just happen to like, this is their hometown and they bought the cars because of that reason. But I love seeing the stuff like this, genuinely. Bear said, my bet for breakout player in the Eredivisie is El Kachadi. 25 goals and assists for Telstar last year, now playing for NEC. Did he play in this game? What was his name? El Kachi. Here. Did not play yet. But Cherry, I think Gator Guy had a Cherry. That's why. For Donk. I love the call, though. Oh, I lost my... Let's bring that back up because let's all give respect where it's due. $1,200 with this, which is just amazing. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Prince Amalco back from injury. Okay. Okay. Love it. Love it. Let's do this next week. And who does NEC have this week? Is it possible we do this again? Oh, wait, I didn't want to. NEC against Fort. We could do it again. Oh, that's who PSV have after the break. I see what you're saying. But then Heerenveen. Oh, AZ's a little tough. Go ahead, away. All right, maybe we'll see this again. Maybe we'll see it again this week. I'm sure whoever that was like in first is like, yes, let's do that again this week. Geo87. Let's see, they have any others? Challenger. Here's Air. This is it. Love it. 1,236,000. Oh, a little 3% boost from the vault. We'd love to see that too. Another Jupiler one, 450 in Division 2. They'll have another Division 1. Oh, some more NEC here. Didn't quite get there, but I get it. Going to Division 1 in Challenger. Love it. Love it. Geo87. Congratulations on a great game week. Good luck on the next one. That's all I got today. Appreciate everybody coming in. The support for this show has been really, really nice. We're here every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. BST, 5 p.m. CET. And we just, hang out, see what happened over the game week, and discuss what we think may happen in the following one, which, based on what we were just talking about, NEC stacks, maybe where we're going. Who knows? Shout out to anybody with NEC stacks or Eintracht Frankfurt. Congratulations on your excellent scouting, and hopefully you can keep it going. So thanks everyone for coming. If you could please, like the show, subscribe to the channel, all of that. And while you're getting ready for this midweek, get all your lineups done. Please make sure you get outside.